What up, Sixer fans? It's Murder Excellence here, and I am excited about the news. Now, if you don't know me, I was a Ben Simmons fan. I will readily admit that if you watched the previous video on here, I'm talking about the Sixers do not want to trade him. But if you know anything about the guy that did trade him, Daryl Morey, he loves James Harden a little bit more than he loves Ben Simmons. So with that said, I am excited about the move. I really respect Ben Simmons' game, didn't respect his way of going about things, just like I still love Antonio Brown, didn't respect the way he did things. But, you know what I mean, the player on the court is a whole separate issue, and I really separate who the man is versus what he can do on the court. This is a business. If Target hires me to work in the back room, I do not want to hear, "Oh, Omar, we don't like the way you cut your hair." That's none of your business. You know what I mean? You making a part of nothing that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the way you know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that you know what I mean? Whatever. I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? Keep it strictly about business. That's what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? You don't like the moves on the floor. Now, when it starts to affect the job, like as it did with Ben Simmons and as it did with, Antonio Brown. But back to James Harden. I'm excited, baby. I'm excited. I'm excited because they are ideal fit. And honestly, going into the season, I was on the Damian Lillard side of it. I wanted Damian Lillard, but I didn't even think that Harden was an option. I think it was little said about him coming to Philadelphia. But either way, like, you look at Damian Lillard's game and James Harden's game, it's not really that much different. You know what I mean? I think Damian Lillard IQ is not as high as James Harden's, and as far as like a playmaker and a floor general, James Harden has the ability to do that at the level that Ben Simmons did. Now defensively, I'm excited because we didn't have to give up Matisse Thybulle, and we did not have to give up Tyrese Maxey. So with that being said, we came out of this situation as good as you could possibly get in a situation where a player has not played for you all season, expressed no interest in playing for you going forward. So for us to be able to get a superstar back, a player that is known around the NBA, is respected, a household name, you know what I mean? A Kardashian, once upon a time, you know what I'm saying? He has flowed over into the female side of it, you know what I mean? Because females will know him from dating the Kardashian. So with all that being said, we came away pretty good, even though Ben Simmons dated a Kardashian too. So we traded a Kardashian. A Kardashian is for another Kardashian. So nevertheless, anywho, she was a Jenner, but nevertheless. My point is, we made out really, 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 really well. I'm excited. I really like the fact that, you get to go into the playoffs with him already playing for your team for another 20, 30, 40 games or something like that. So, you get the all-star break for them to meet up, gel, talk to each other, and we got Doc Rivers, who has a familiar background with James Harden, not having coached him, but having went against him in multiple series, so, and Doc Rivers is a player. He was a player, so he gets it. He knows exactly what he's getting in James Harden. You know what I mean? And you got a guy that can actually make free throws for a guy that really couldn't, or scratch the floor for Joel. So this is exciting. This is exciting, This is exactly what Joel needs. I mean, both of them should honestly flourish. This is probably something that either one of them had. Now, what I was thinking about before I started the video, the closest thing we had to James Harden was probably Jimmy Butler. The step back. I remember the first game Jimmy Butler played with us. He did the step back game winner. So you got the step back players, like they both kind of do that. And Jimmy's a better defender. I will give him that. He's a more motivated defender. I will give him that. And overall, where Jimmy Butler gets the nod on defense, James gets the nod on offense. You know what I'm saying? He know how to create offense for him and others. Jimmy wasn't as good at either one of those two offensive dynamics as James is. Jimmy couldn't really create for others like James, and he couldn't really create for himself as well as James. Now, I remember when Brett Brown was the coach, and he said, "Oh, he wasn't Jimmy tonight; he was James." And Jimmy's like, "That's not even my name." How ironic it is now that Jimmy is now James, James Harden, baby. You know how this is amazing, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. Now the only problem is we gotta hope that this meshes together and that it has some level of success. You know, if James Harden can get this championship, you know what I mean? I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the city. I'm excited for Joel. Because going forward, you talk about taking the load off of Joel in the playoffs. Sure. You don't get no more taking the load off in the last couple of years than you do with James Harden. You know what I mean? The only other player we could have possibly got at the level of scoring is probably like KD, Steph Curry. Trying to think who's up there like that with the scoring. You know what I mean? It's not really that many people that can really give you 40 a night. You know what I mean? And James Harden and Joel Embiid are able to give you 40 a night. You know what I mean? I love that. I love it. So, you know what I mean? It is a great day to be a Sixers fan. This is why I don't jump ship. Because you stay with the team that your heart is with. You stay with them. Because at the end of the day, when things start to go right, you know what I mean? It's a good feeling to think about all of the memories that you share together. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm all with it. I'm all for it. You know, I'm all for it. So, you know, I want to see how the next month or two going into the playoffs. Got to see how that works out for the team. Need to see how Joel meshes with this. You know what I mean? Because if James Harden could take a backseat role to KD, and I don't think he really took a backseat role to Kyrie, but if he can be on that team and understand that it's a team, he'll work well with Joel. You know what I'm saying? This will be something that works well for both of them. Now, as far as going forward, you think about it being Joel. Now, I know we got Paul Millsap. He's a good addition because he's a stretch four. He can shoot the three. I don't know how well he'll play here at his age and and the mileage that he has on his legs. But I am excited to see how, you know, he contributes to the team coming off the bench. We did lose Andre Drummond, and we did lose who else? Who did we lose? Steph Curry, I think. So, I mean, I did not want to lose the three-point shooter, but to keep Tyrese and Matisse, that you mean to lose Seth, that's not bad. That's not bad. I really like that. That works well. And I mean, Brooklyn, I mean, they're good. They're good. You know what I mean? We will see them down the road. And if Ben Simmons can come back at the level that he was playing at without the jump shot, you know what I mean? They will be a team to reckon with because of the fact that they got enough scores. Like KD is not going to be looking for Ben to contribute in the fourth quarter. It's not where he don't really need that. You know what I mean? He can score on his own. And the offensive firepower that the East has isn't anything that him, Kyrie, and the type of open jump shots that Ben Simmons can create for other players. You know, that'll work well. So as a Sixers fan, you know, you gotta give up something to get something. So I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not upset. And for me to be a Ben Simmons fan, I respect this move. You know what I mean? I respect it. It's something that, you know, even the big, like, I mean, I was gonna be Ben Simmons fans that didn't want this to happen, but he didn't really give us much of a choice, and that's the part I'm looking at. You know what I mean? He's a grown man. He's gonna do what he wants. It's like your best friend saying you working with him, and he's like, I quit. I mean, you gotta respect it. You know what I mean? You might not want him, but you might want him to stay, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So, at the end of the day, Philadelphia will have an opportunity to contend with anybody in the East. You know what I mean? I really think that they can really contend with anybody in the East. And now you look at a lineup that has Tyrese Maxey, James Harden. Even if you want to make James Harden the point guard, make Tyrese the shooting guard because he's not really a good distributor of the ball. But either way, either one could go either way. And then you got who got at small forward? You can do Danny Green. I wouldn't really do Danny Green. I would stick with Matisse. Try to get him to get his offensive game together before the playoffs. Not that he needs to, now that he got two ball-dominant players in James Harden and Joel. Probably won't be getting too many shots. What he probably need to be doing is spending 3 to 4 hours a day just running around and spotting up on the floor in practice. Just trying to find a way to make open shots when they come his way. That's what, if I'm him, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, I gotta be ready for open shots, and I gotta make sure that I'm confident to knock these down. And that's basically what I'm looking for. Other than that, you got Tobias at the power forward, you know what I mean, and then you got Joel at center. So that really works out well for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody to step up with them rebounds because Drummond was a monster when it came to that. Drummond was a monster. Shit, I should have. Yeah, it was a trash can in the middle of the road. Got me distracted. I seen the guy behind me. He jumped out and got it. I was kind of thinking I should have did that. But whatever. Anyway, I'm a Sixers fan today. I'm enjoying the moment. That trash can is the least of my problems, at the very least. About to go cash this check and probably get me a case of beer or something, you know what I mean, to celebrate this victory before the victory. Now, if we don't win the championship this year, we still set up good, you know what I mean? Because we still got them young guys. I think we gave up a first-round pick, so I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Free agency will come around, and we can definitely make up for that because, it's going to be somebody that wants to join the team, get that player that want to win the championship ring and contribute to a team like us. And we can find a buyout before the season's over. Somebody might want to be like, you know what I mean? Can I come slide with y'all? And that's all you need. I mean, I would hope for it to be like a power forward or a backup center, maybe a, I don't know, anything. But you know what I mean? I feel like we're pretty good right now. But I wouldn't mind a buyout. Somebody sliding over here. But Sixers fans, we did it. We back in the mix. We back in the Eastern Conference mix. We gotta beat Brooklyn. We gotta beat Milwaukee. We gotta beat Miami. Them the teams that you feel like you gotta match up well against. And I feel like we do now. I feel like we really do now. You know what I mean? If neither one of those guys, James Harden or Joel, gets injured, we should be set. We should really be in a good position to make a deep run into the playoffs. And these two players that we have, that our stars are, complement each other very well. It helps Tobias out because now he can play in the flow of the game. I don't know if he's a guy that needs the ball to get his flow. Because some guys, they're not better when they take less shots. Like high IQ players, they're better with that. Now, Tobias doesn't really strike me like that. He strikes me as a player that needs the ball in his hands a few times. Now, James Harden will give you that. And if anything, he creates a lot of openings now for Tobias to, find ways to create for himself, and the attention that comes from them respecting James Harden at the three-point line and respecting Joel in the post works out well for everybody. So let's see how it works, Sixers fans. We got a lot of season left, and this trade couldn't happen at a better time for everybody involved so that we can get in the mix and make things gel before we take this run. I feel like we was a good team before this. We could have really matched up and took anybody to 7 without James Harden, minus Ben Simmons. So now that we got a James Harden out of the deal, gotta say, we really gonna make it. We really gonna make some noise now. We really gonna make some noise now. I need James Harden to get in that gym, get in the best shape of his life. You know what I mean? I don't want him looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy. I really need him to be in the mix with this here. Like, this is what he asked to do. He said he wanted to come to Philly. He's with his GM. He got a good coach. He got a good supporting cast and a good star next to him. So let's see how this plays out. All right, y'all. Over and out.